Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Amaterasu's Presence League Demigod Division. Today, we are going over a game between Kappa Corp and Akumas Matatas. Some players I'm not too familiar with, but I'm joined here by Tantalus. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I love to watch Smite. I love to cast Smite. I love to play Smite when I'm not getting the snot beaten out of me. Let's see. They're going right into these.
Yeah, they're going right into it. And these are all standard bans. The Medusa, the Chunga, the Lance, Ishtal, all very powerful picks right now that just explode people. Chunga able to just blink on a carry, and if you don't have both relics, you're probably dead. Terra, another pretty common ban right now. It's super standard in the support role. And the CC, the confirm she has on the buffs, the pressure she could do from that lane, and the damage, just the raw damage she has, just super strong. Not surprised.
I mean, especially in that early game. You know, Terra already did a lot of damage in the early game. They hit that 9.5 revert, and now you get caught in that 3-1 combo 30, 40 seconds in, and like a third of your health's just gone. The god's absurd. Speaking of, Kamazats. Okay.
Yes, because Akumas banned Guan Yu. Now, that's either a throwaway ban or a respect beyond respect ban. Because Guan Yu, well, I love Guan Yu right now. He's like mid-tier at best.
Yeah. Somebody hurt Akumas Matatas with a Guan Yu.
In the response,
it's got to be a trauma ban. There's no way.
In response, they're picking up Cullen Mulan, which would be a disgusting front line if they lock in this Mulan. The Mulan's most likely going into support, Cullen in the solo lane, and right now, aggressive supports, I feel, run the meta. A lot of supports are going in with their first item either being Mail Renewal or Archdruids, at least from what I've seen, and those items just get you going quick. And Mulan right now, she is disgusting.
Mulan right now is disgusting in 3 different roles.
Yeah.
She is a top support, a top jungle, and a top solo laner.
You know, I'll debate you a bit on the jungle because that's definitely her weakest of the 3, but she's
still good.
And I agree. I think it's good. I agree with you there that it is still good, but Charon is looking to be hovered by Kappa Corp, and the level of aggression that Mulan has, I don't think could be matched by something like a Charon. You still have Bacchus, Horus, Ardeo, all that have kind of risen up to prominence right now in the support role. And Charon to be prioritized makes me a little nervous here.
I don't hate the Charon pick too much. I mean, is he top 5 for supports? No. Is he bottom 5? I wouldn't say so either. He's middle of the pack. He does some things very well. You do have the silence available. You have the shields that you can give your teammates that are fighting. You've got the summon sticks. It's useful in the right situations. He's not terrible, but
now the Charybdis locked in. That's just the safety ADC now. She got 4 buffs in 1 patch, and now she's good. You know, who would have thunk it? But the Agni in response. Now, I've heard, I'm not too familiar with these players, but I've heard this is a big comfort pick for Pancake Trousers.
Can confirm. I've had to play into him on the Agni. He's solid with it. I mean, look, it's a hard god to not be solid with. You've got a lot of AoE, large circles, decent self peel. Only thing you're missing is a CC immune ult.
Yeah, he used to have CC immunity on that dash, but not anymore. Looks like the bans coming through. Morgan Le Fay and Nike for Akuma, and Bastet and Thor prioritizing the jungle for Kappa Corp. They think this Mulan's going to support. They don't think it's going in the jungle, and I would have to agree. Heimdall hovered here for Akumas. Really? That's got me with a question mark. On Her is still up. Hachi is still up.
Rama.
Ishtar. Rama's decent. Like, there's still a lot of good picks here. The I guess it's got to be a safety thing.
That would be the only reason I could see to go with the Heimdall right now. We're looking at a lot of attack speed and crit in the meta. It's never been something that he just super favors. There we go. Okay.
There we go. That's much more comfortable. Apollo, I hated that. That shift up is something I do not like. Oh my god, I hated it so much, my camera broke. The whole situation with Apollo right now is that character is just so, I don't know, mid. Everything about it is so mid to me. Cthulhu Discordia to round up the Kappa Corps draft. Cthulhu is disgusting right now. That character is gross.
I'll agree with you on that. Cthulhu does a lot, although I'm not a solo guy, but does he do it into Cucullin?
Yes. Cthulhu right now, I think he really doesn't have any bad matchups. Not even like the big ones you think about, because Achilles executes him really easy because he has a big pool. It's not really, I'm talking about Cthulhu restoring my camera with it, and it's not even something that he has a hard time with. Yeah, it's a pressure lane, but Cthulhu can just sit back, farm up with the mire, and now that he's not locked into that ability anymore, he has so much more freedom. And after he gets that breastplate online, he can fight into the Cucullin. And if he chooses to take these engagements at the right times, he's not really going to lose. A Wheelix to round out the draft for Akumas. It's decent.
So it is support Mulan. I don't hate Awelish as a jungle right now, but I feel like the only thing you have going for it is that Kamazats.
You can pull Discordia during her 3 as well. It is a very tight window.
Yeah.
So we will see if Hurt can pull that off. But the amount of knockups, there are 2 knockups on the side of Akuma. So there is some setup there for the Awelix, but my biggest concern now with Akuma's draft is how they are going to do on sieges and defense. You got decent with Agni, the bombs with the clear, but this Awelix is, I hate to say useless, but on those siege defenses and siege offenses, she is not a good character there. She's good at every other point in the game, but she does not feel good on those offenses and defenses on those sieges.
No, not typically. And I mean, looking just down the barrel of this Kappa Corp draft, you've got the Charon there, you've got the Cthulhu. Just between that, you have a fairly absurd time trying to siege into them.
How do you kill anybody on Kappa Corp's draft?
That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like
you have a lot of early and mid-game damage with this double warrior and the Awelix, right? If you get the snowball going, you could probably win this game if you're Akuma. But I think Kappa Corp, if this game goes long enough, they just aren't gonna die. And if you don't die, you probably win.
That's a fair assessment. I mean, Akuma's matatas, you're gonna need your Heartseeker, you're gonna need your Reaver, you're gonna need your Kins, you're gonna need something to bring this Cthulhu down. And even if you do that, you're still staring down the barrel of a Charon, a Kamazats. That's gonna be tough.
I mean, regardless, I want to see an erosion out of either the Mulan, the Cucullin, hell, both of them. And I better see a green Exy out of that Apollo. I'm already questioning the Apollo pick, but I better see a green Exy. Because that is something that is core, especially into a Charon. With the amount of shielding he could put out, and if he puts a shell on top of that, which he very well can, it's disgusting. And he'll make that team even more unkillable than it already is.
Yeah, it's gonna be an uphill fight for Akuma's matatas. I feel like, as you mentioned, if they can get an early lead and start to snowball and actually push the map down before Kappa Corp can hit that 20 and full build point, they've got a really good argument for this team comp. But they're on a timer. I mean, if it hits 30, 35 minutes, full builds, I don't see how you siege into Kappa.
Yeah. But I think that in execution, if Akuma takes this over to the solo side of the map, bringing the Mulan over after a certain point, and just forces fights around these bull demons, get this Cucullin ahead, get this Mulan ahead, that's your key to winning this game. Get these tanks, get these physical, big, beefy frontliners ahead so they can clear the way for your damage dealers. That's what I think is going to win them this game. But there's only one way to find out who wins this game, and that's by going into it. Again, Kappa Corp, looking unkillable once it gets later into the game.
Absolutely, and I mean, on top of all that, you have like that Charybdis in the back line. That's a pain in anybody's behind to try and
Don't
kill.
even get me started on that little creature. She just you go on her and she's got 2 CC immunities. She moves at Mach 12 because she pushed the 4 key, and she's just out of there. And the Discordia, the amount of damage that a Discordia buffed Camazotz is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it is. You sound like me talking about Soul. I'm gonna be real with you. I heard a lot of disdain for that Charybdis, and that's my Soul.
You don't even want to hear me talk about Scotty, bro. You do not want to hear me talk about that character, bro. I was scrimming against that character against a really good mid laner. Oh my god, I had not been that mad at Smite in a long time. But regardless, safety, tankiness, unkillable Kappa Corp versus the aggressive Akuma Matatas.
See how it goes.
Yeah. Everything looking pretty standard here from the starts. And it looks like Mulan actually is going into a prophetic cloak. And Charon is looking towards a Gauntlet or this Mail of Renewal instead of the prophetic, when he's one of the most easy to stack characters with it.
Yeah, we've been seeing some different starts coming out from some of the supports. I've seen some of them trying to go immediately into the Mail of Renewal, the Archdruids, stuff like that. And I mean, if you're getting that early pressure, if you're getting the value out of it, more power to you. But if you end up on the back foot, it's a lot of trouble. And
speaking of a lot of trouble, in the mid lane right now, Agni's falling super low, and so is Awilix. Both one ability away, and First Blood goes to Kappa Corp. This is not a good start for Akuma Matatas. But it could be returned by this Mulan. The shell forced away from the Charon with that hook. That hook is deceptively long range.
It really is. You can get yoinked by that thing from a distance that you think it's unbelievable when you get hit by it. They could have pressure.
They look back over again. They engaged again. Charon falling super low. The Apollo dashing in. Almost he is a sliver of health. And the Charybdis putting out a ton of damage back, but they're both so low. Apollo falling down, but Mulan's gonna get a return kill? No, she goes under the water because she hit 3. The safety of that character. Mulan, super low here. She's gonna fall. No, she might not. No, she did. She's dead. Man, Akuma's trying to get stuff done, and it's just not going well for them. Speaking of not going well, Discordia is covering the option of this Awilix, who is just trying to scatter for her life here. Kukulkan finally turning around a kill, but Awilix barely making it out. Discordia is just staring at her in the face. This is... What are you... I'm sorry, but what was that, Hurt? You gotta walk away further. You're just waiting for her cooldown to come back up so she can kill you.
But she can reduce with her 3, by the way.
Well, no, Akuma's dead now.
Oh, okay, all right. So we're averaging 2.8 kills a minute now. Holy crap! This is a bloodbath. I mean, where are these kills even going? I mean, we've got 2 in the pocket of Disco, 2 in the pocket of Charybdis,
and one of the Cthulhu. Yeah, it is.
We talked on the desk about Akuma's Matatas pretty severely needing the early snowball. And
this is not the direction the snowball was supposed to go. You know, it was supposed to go down the other way on the hill. And this is rough. This is extremely rough. But I don't think it's like end all be all just yet. Right? The Kukulkan is still got a bit of a lead in XP on this Cthulhu. It's a tiny one, but he still has it. And in the dual lane, oh no. I'm gonna be honest, I thought somebody was dying there. If Charybdis just ripped it, it might have been it, but might
You
have
may
been
have
it,
your wish.
is what you're saying for Pancake Trousers as he falls to the golden apple from Cole.
Oh, there's summon sticks out. Here's the Maw Hungers. Oh, God!
But there's so much going on. There's just so much going on, and Charybdis is under the tower, going into the maw, bro. There's just so much going on. I'm trying to be cool here and analyze what's going on, and then they're just ramming their face into each other, and it's going well for Kappa.
Yeah, got a Charybdis successfully tower diving 3.5 minutes, and oh my God, she's gonna kill a Wheelish!
Hurt is the only thing that Akuma is feeling right now. Akuma's is getting absolutely dominated. But Apollo across the skies into the lane. The Charybdis is alone, but has the disco buff. We will see how this goes. Mulan returns, and the kill is secured. Finally, the Charybdis, do you even flex, is shut down. Agni looking to pick up a return kill on this Camazotz possibly? No, he's not overstepping. I respect that. He doesn't want to play with the fire that is Kappa Corporation right now.
You know, that's fair enough. It hasn't gone swimmingly thus far, and I mean, oh my God! This damage! She's gonna go down, yeah.
That's not even Disco's damage, that's the tower's damage. She flipped in a tower and the minions. Thank God Minion 32 was there to put Cole down. Otherwise, that might have gone out of control. But, jokes aside.
6-1 out of this disco 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah,
I don't have any clever analysis about that. That's nuts.
I don't have any, like, cool, like, screams about that either, because Awilix walked up and feather stepped into Discordia's tower. This is rough. I don't know if Akumas is just not in the right mindset anymore because of how poorly this start went for them. Awilix is just staring at... yeah, no, this is... this is a little rough. But... I think that they need to just take a deep breath, focus back up, and...
not do that.
Loshak.
With the solo.
You know, you were concerned about him matching up into the Cucullin, and with Cucullin going Blackthorn first, you know, he's very killable.
Fair enough. I mean, it wouldn't even be such a problem without the Bluestone start. Like, there are starter items that can make you slightly tanky in that solo lane, and Bluestone is not one of them. It's great for that late game damage, but if you're playing into something that legitimately has a high damage output, it can mean death. Speaking of which...
I think he's fine here. If he plays this correctly, like he's just out. The dash and away. It is... with the Cucullin right now... oh, well, let me talk about Blackthorn real quick. I think this item is a bit overrated now. There are certain characters that use it well still. But I feel like you can make use of a Frostbound instead on Cucullin, because what are you doing with that mana stat on Cucullin? Not much.
Yeah, a little bit of help.
Really, you're not really doing much with that mana stat, and that is a fat, what, like 200 mana on that? The Frostbound might do more for you, especially into a comp that has two characters that a good deal of their damage, Camel with the Hydras and Charybdis with her auto attacks, come from auto attackers. Well, Kama's not really an auto attacker, but you know, Hydra's proccing is pretty good. Ooh, the pushback, and he's going to live for this? No, he is not. And he's down again, and he's just not tanky. If you're gonna go something like Blackthorn, you gotta go like a Warrior's Axe first. And I don't know what, if I'm Akuma's matatas here, I've got to sit back, and it's Awilix gonna die again. Is she? No. Disco Beads forced out as Mulan comes in to relieve the pressure. The pressure's being put on her now as Charon comes into the mid lane, and the Strife is put down. But we get a bit of a reprieve as Bull Demon is secured by Kappa Corporation.
I mean, Akuma's matatas need to kind of slow this down. We talked about the snowball potential on the desk, and what we're seeing here obviously did not play out that way. I didn't know how it was going to go, but a 6-1 disco at 8 minutes in wasn't what I had on my bingo card for the afternoon.
What is on your bingo card? I won't put you on the spot like that. And that was I was just trying to be funny. There's probably a couple of things on there.
I had figured the Charybdis does well into the Apollo. That one I envisioned happening, but Disco sitting at 6-1 7 minutes in was not there for sure. I think Akumas Matatas need to slow this down, stop the bleeding, which definitely wasn't the spot you wanted to be in with a team comp like this. But it is what it is, and you're here now. Cucullin is managed to stay relatively on par with Cthulhu level-wise. He's down, but it's not bad yet. He's getting some defense online, and I mean, in this case, just stay the hell away from it.
Yeah, you really don't have to engage with this Cthulhu, and at this point in the lane, you're never killing him, so why even bother trading into him? Cthulhu's only going to get benefit from you trading into him because he's going to stack his passive. But stacking his passive is only going to matter if he's stacking up kills. The number goes up 1 more to 4 as Awilix comes to meet him here, and so does Agni. Finally,
Good
returning
rotation.
another kill. Really good rotation from them as the wave comes out, but doesn't get much of anything.
Yeah, that's a great rotation there. Honestly, I feel like they could have looked to maybe pull BDK there. Camo was in the area, but Disco was nowhere to be found. That being your biggest threat, and oh god, they're going at it again.
The Discordia kind of just threw the apple out and hit Mulan, and nothing happened after that. Now, I do want to see who has... Did the Disco passive shift away from Charybdis, or is it on Kama now? Or is it on Cthulhu? That's what I want to know, actually.
It may be on Disco. No, it's on Charybdis still. Wow.
Yeah, Charybdis is just putting out numbers. While that isn't... I wouldn't say that that's ideal for this comp. I don't think it matters, because you are 10 kills up over your opponent right now. And you have only... The lead isn't really that bad. It's only about 2K.
Yeah, which, I mean, there's not really major objectives being taken yet. You've seen a couple of BDKs, but nothing crazy. Why is he boxing him?
I think that it's just a foolish decision to try and box him, and this is just funny. I feel bad for him. This poor soul. And as the Akuma Matatas come back to return the kill on Do You Even Flex, avenging their ADC, unfortunately they didn't make it in time to save him. But a return kill's a return kill.
It is. He had every opportunity to save himself. You know, at the point in an ADC boxing match when you go down a quarter, half health, and nothing has happened to the other one, I feel like you just turn and leave.
Yeah, I agree. Especially when you're level and a half, 2 levels down now, and half an item. What is he building in that trait? I'm sorry, I do not like what it is. Whatever it is.
I'm gonna assume it's. I mean, maybe it's a Storm Seeker. Maybe
that honestly is the worst option.
Gets Akuma.
Akuma's dead, and the Awilix is probably dead too. As the gigantic wave comes through, we're not even going to look at it. As this poor Awilix falls again to the power of Father Xylophone.
Yeah, I mean, Beacon's on the menu now. Agni's there, but Kojo is headed up behind. Oh, he's taking the red.
Yeah, he's taking the red, but right now he could also... He jumped the wall, seeing to get the return kill possibly on this Agni. The bead's forced out as the teleport comes through, but Agni's already dead. Mulan putting out the damage to try to return it. The shell comes out, and nothing will come of it. The Agni falls, losing his beads, and giving the camo another kill. But
yeah, I mean,
as you were saying before, the Storm Seeker, I think that's terrible in this situation.
I mean,
it's Obo.
So it's So I was gonna say before that broke out. I mean, could be Storm Seeker, could be Obo. I don't know why you would go a Silver Branch that early. You know, I feel. I'm not sure about the Obo here in this third slot. I almost feel like you need the Kinsai.
You do, especially with how behind you are currently. How are you killing Cthulhu when he rotates out? How are you killing You're the same level as Father Xylophone right now on this Charon. How are you killing him with no kins? You're not. As Kamazov goes in on the Agni here, falling very low to a quarter HP, as he looks like he's going to fall here, but getting tagged by the disco the Agni is, and he falls! Okay. As the Mulan unable to hit the hook, the horrific coming out as Cthulhu comes in to save the day. Kamazov's flying away as Mulan looks to fall as well. Cucullin going on the disco here in the back line, but Cthulhu over the wall with the knockup!
Oh my.
That was a weird interaction. I could not tell what just happened there.
Huh.
What did you...
Well, I can tell you what is about to happen. It has got to be a Pyro or a Gold Fury. Surely we do not kill 4 members of their team and not pull an objective.
It was all 5. But a Wheelix there really threw me off because she looked like she got a good pull and then she didn't. That's got to be a ping diff right there. But the whole thing right there. The servers
have been bad.
The servers have been terrible as of late. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna call that a server diff. Charybdis just ran through the towers to go on this offbeat. As Agni dashes away from the ultimate out of Charybdis, a bomb coming through as the Aegis comes out. Mulan looking to possibly make this a return kill. Are you buying time for somebody else? No. She's got to run away here as Kappa makes his return. But the gall of that Charybdis to just not only use her safety tool to walk under that tower, but then to engage on the Agni afterwards. Kappa Corp is playing with confidence.
I mean, it's 23-6. You're sitting on an 8K gold lead. I could see some confidence being warranted here. You've got a pretty solid lead pretty much everywhere on the map at this point. 8K, 15 minutes in, you're talking about having items completed that the opposing team does not. You have a level or multiple level up in every role. There is absolutely no reason you do not just walk around the map and take whatever you want here. This is the time for Kappa Corp to just group up. Group up, walk around, take whatever you want, short of you making an egregious error.
What is the Wheelix doing back here? She's being sneaky. No, but it doesn't matter if she's being sneaky because Pancake Trousers is taking 2, maybe 3 ultimates, just 2, and falling down as she comes in for the disco, but the Gravity Surge doesn't get anything, as Mulan is now going to take the punishment for her Wheelix's mistakes, as the whole team engages onto her, rooted and put in the dirt.
So now I imagine if you're Kappa Corporation here, you pull Gold Fury.
You should have pulled Gold Fury. This should be like the 2nd or 3rd Gold Fury you pulled, but yes. Gold Fury.
You pull the Gold Fury here. You back, you maybe spin the gold. I don't know what everybody's got in hand.
Spend gold, go fire. Because how are they ever fighting you?
They can't at this point. And if they try, it's going to be a very short game. They need to be farming here, and there's not a lot of it up outside of their own jungle. You know, even to get these waves, you're having to put yourself at risk of death to try and clear them. So your safest option is like double and triple split them. There's not a lot of farm to be had here.
If I'm Akuma, like Akuma's matatas, at this point, if I'm playing the game out, which I think you should in this sort of scenario, because honestly, there's a chance that they mess up and this game becomes yours. But I'm thinking about what we need to do for game 2, because this is rough, and especially with how much worse your comp is late game than theirs. But speaking of Akuma himself, getting gone on here possibly? No, the team walking away, letting him run away with his, I guess, his trousers down.
Yeah, Loshak and Kojo are gonna zone this, and I don't see a world that Akumas get by.
To be honest, I don't even think that Kansas needs to be there, but it looks like they're putting on a show as the knockup comes through from the Cthulhu. And the entire team still on fire as Kama backs away. Cthulhu waddling towards his whole team as they secure the fire giant, and the team looking to reinforce as he walks to them. But it looks like there might be something. No, Mulan misses the hook, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got fire on all 5 now. Gold leads, you know, moving in that 10K territory. You just group up and push here. Get the rest of these T2s knocked down. Look to siege this left bird. You got 1 bomb in pocket. Doesn't guarantee a bird, but it makes a good case for it. You got the opportunity to push this lead to 12, 13,000, hit 20, start getting these starters upgraded. I mean, we're only at 19 minutes. It feels like we're talking about a much later game.
Yeah, it does, because of how big a lead that Kappa has. It is just... What? It's about to reach 10K and a 19-minute game? That is disgusting. And it is about to tick over after the clean up these towers, because what? You're going to defend a T2 when you're, what, 1.5, maybe 2 items down on your opponent? Like, you just look at the carry right now. It is a full Odysseus bow. A full dominance, which I don't like paired with the Odysseus bow, but that's besides the point. Over his enemy ADC. But Camazotz looks like he's getting engaged here. A little caught out. No, he's just going to kill a Wheelix and walk away, because that character's balanced. They'll blink away as the rest of the team looks to chase, but now here comes Kappa Corporation looking to collapse. This could spell the end of the game if enough players die here. Akuma looking to be the sacrificial lamb.
He's going for it. Loshak is running straight at him. They've got 3 left. They're barreling down left lane towards this left Phoenix. Disco's got the split in mid. Waves pushing on both sides. And with 3 left and Agni at 16, I don't really see a way they do this.
Yeah, I really don't. It is difficult, to say the least. Agni's looking to put out a little bit of poke, but has to run away as he loses nearly half of his health from a Disco one. And Kappa Corp could just walk into mid. With Disco split pushing, the Mulan engages. They're looking for a desperate play as she just dies immediately. Descend to Madness coming out as the Wheelix runs away and the Agni looks to fall soon. Apollo dove in and died immediately. As Kikola now looks for this Discordia, but his efforts are futile as she fights back and returns an equal amount of damage. Pancake Trousers falls. Hurt falls. There's only 1 left. Can Akuma of Akuma Matatas make a stand in this Phoenix as he blinks in, does a bit of damage, but the Disco Apple, plus all the damage they have on Kappa Corp, is too much to handle as the game looks like it's about to end.
They're pushing. He's trying it. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Final kill under Ranger Dyer, and that is going to be your game 1.
Yeah. Kappa Corp absolutely dominant.
Convincingly.
Yeah.
Convincingly win the game 1.
If I'm Akumas, I gotta shake that off. This isn't a best of 3 anymore. This is a best of 1.
Yep. You throw that entire game out the window, pretend it never happened, and make a very different draft on your way into this game too.
Yeah. That's what you got to do, because you just look at the disparities between these teams. I will say, the ADC that had more wards won. Don't know if that's got to do with anything, but there's a fat donut in that wards place column for the Apollo, and the Corp just has 10. Might be a difference maker. Jokes aside, Kappa Corp had a complete dominance in this game. And Cole had a stellar performance. Do you even flex control dual lane the entire game to the point where if Hurt went over there, the only thing that happened was him hurting because he was just dying. He was flopping over.
Yeah, I mean, Kojo on this Camazotz, only 12k damage, but you look at the 7-0 and 9 slash line, and it wasn't. He did plenty of damage. I mean, we saw him on that the fight with the Awelish, where he had 5 people coming towards him, surrounding him, and he had his, I am the danger moment, killed Awelish, and just walked out. it was a very, very dominant performance from Kappa Corp. And it's like I said, the best thing Akumas Matatas can do moving into this game too is just lose all memory of game one.
Game 1 didn't happen. It is a best of one, 2 best of ones in a row that they got to win. And it just so happens to be against the same team. Funny, you know. But realistically, it's just you got to do something different because clearly the strat they had didn't work.
Yeah, but on that note, we will throw it to a break, get ready for this game too, and we will be back.
And welcome back, everybody. Valve joined by Tantalus again. And after that first game, the absolute dominance of Kappa Corp, Akumas decide to take first pick. if you think there's going to be a change up in the bans, what do you think it's going to be?
I don't know that you even go for a change up in bans here. There were plenty of picks still on the board that could have done you a lot better in that situation. Bans from both teams were pretty standard and, all things considered, stuff you wouldn't want to see. It does look like they're going to ban this Kamazats away from Kojo.
I think that's pretty solid.
Fair enough. No problems there. Medusa, Ikchel, all standard. You don't want to play into it. Now,
maybe they won't throw away ban this Guan again, They might be playing for the Chunga. They get rid of the Kukulin. They're concerned about that in the hands of Loshak. Loshak? Don't know. But they get rid of the Kukulin. The Chunga might be banned by Kappa Corp. That's what I'm expecting. But maybe they have a plan for it. Who knows?
I mean, they could ban the Chunga, but with the Kukulin off the board, maybe you ban
would be up.
Yeah, I mean, you could look to handshake here and just ban the Mulan. Nobody gets Mulan, nobody gets Kukulin. The Terra's definitely an option, but at the end of the day, Akumas Matatas is getting one of them.
Yeah, they banned the Thor. So Chunga, Terra, Cthulhu, all still up. We'll see what they pick. Akumas might just insta-lock the Chunga, but it looks like they're deliberating a bit. The Chunga is hovered and the Chunga is locked. I say they're deliberating and then they prove me wrong. The Chunga is here. This character's got a ton of burst. Ton of burst. She just kills people. It's kind of just what she does. As now Kappa Corp has to respond with their 2 picks. I wouldn't be surprised if the Terra comes out here. But Cthulhu is being hovered. Cthulhu's being hovered, and I would assume the Terra will be as well. No, Bastet is the return pickup. Maybe. Yeah. Bastet. It's strange to see them prioritizing it so early. I feel like they could have waited on that, but maybe it's a cover pick for Akumas? For Hurt? Who knows? Or maybe they're trying to bait him back into the Awilix, especially after that interesting performance he had in that last game. Maybe they're trying to bait him back into it. But we'll see. Terra is still up for Akumas. So they could pick it. Charybdis Terra is a powerful dual lane. But Achilles is looking to be picked up here, and it is locked in by Akuma. So, Achilles Charybdis. Pretty solid picks, but I would have liked to see the Terra, honestly. Because it's a powerful pick, but maybe it's not something that Ranger's comfortable on. So, we'll have to see. Now, Kappa Corp does have the option for this Terra to be picked up. Will they do it, though? That is the question. Or will they look to run back this Disco like they did last time? The absolute monster performance. It's neither. Charon is picked up for Father Xylophone again. And now, we will have to see. As the bans are going to come back away. In terms of what's going to be banned away here, I don't know what you ban as Kappa Corp. I guess you get rid of Terra because it's just a good support. Get rid of the Terra, maybe get rid of something like Ganesha. Something with, good return on the Cthulhu, like the Ganesha. The Prot Shred, the Lockdown for the Bastet, the Ohm for the extra Prots could be a good ban. I could see them banning supports, but they also could just go to the jungle route. Maybe forced Hurt back onto this Awilix that he just did not have a good performance on last game. Maybe that's the bait. But who knows? Apparently none of us do. Because Terra is being hovered for the ban. For Kappa Corp. There we go. It is difficult if you're Akumas. Yeah, that's pretty expected. As the Discordia put on a show last game. That's the only way I can really put it, is she put on a show. Unfortunately, it seems like my co-caster has faded into the void, so I will be doing this by myself for at least a little bit. But Discordia goes away as Again, like I said, I think the Ganesha should be a ban here, but maybe it's not something that Ranger's comfortable on. I don't know these players, so they could have different pools. The Raven is banned away. That tells me that Kappa Corp might want to play Poseidon, because there are very few hard counters in Smite. Raven hard counters Poseidon. There is very little that that character can do into Raven. So if Akumas recognizes this, they might ban Poseidon. But we will see. Maybe Kappa Corp isn't doing that and they're just banning Raven because it's a cover pick of Hurt. Who knows? On her is the ban away from Akumas. As now Kappa gets a pick here. We'll have to see what they prioritize. I would pick a Hunter here if I'm them. Save your mid pick for last. You realistically only have a couple of ADCs that are open. Hachiman, Ishtar, Rama. You know, I really don't want to see them play Apollo, though. That would be a terrible idea. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just some loon who hates Apollo. But we'll see. And now, we just wait. Continue on with the picks and bans, as Kappa Corp seems to be deliberating for now. It seems like they're taking a lot of time. I would just pick a Hunter here, though. There is no real reason not to. Leave your mid pick to have the entire comp to look into because you early picked this Cthulhu. Not really much else. But it seems as if there is a bit of a problem in the lobby. So we're not the only ones with those issues. As we will be right back with Kappa Corp versus Akuma Matatas. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It seems as if my co-caster has been tossed into the void to never return. So, it's just going to be me now. Finishing up the picks and bans between Kappa and Matatas. We're going to have to see how they follow it up. Like I said before, I think Kappa needs to finish out the draft with a hunter while they wait holding their mid. Artemis seems to be the pick, and honestly, that's pretty decent. I am concerned, though, about whether or not this Chunga just gets to her and kills her. Because that's what that character does. She presses blink, she presses 4, she presses 1, and you're probably dead. Hunbats and Ganesha. Ganesha was one I was talking about before, who I think is a very good pick into Cthulhu. You put him in the box, you shred his prots, and he's probably gonna die. Hunbats, a solid jungle pick. This is a much better draft from Akuma Matatas this time around. Their late game is much better. Their mid game is decent. Struggles a little bit. Their early game as well. Could use some work. But a Neath mid in response. Now, the double hunter comp from Kappa Corp is interesting. But we'll have to see if they're as dominant as they are in game 1. So we're going to move it over to the game shortly. As there's only one way to find out whether or not they're as dominant. As we move it over to the game right now. I've been deceived. We're moving over right now. Now, this is going to be a rough one if you're Akuma Matatas. Because despite what we were saying before about the mindset needs to be this is just 2 best of 1s now, you have to recover from that brutal loss of last game. And it seems like there has been some adjustments as the Achilles is going Warrior's Axe into the Blackthorn, which I like a lot more than the Bluestone into Blackthorn. Chunga going the Conduit Gem, which is standard. The Mannequin Scepter Neath is okay. I much prefer Bluestone on the character, but that's just me. And some other people as well, probably. Artemis going Gilded Arrow is interesting to me. Because I feel like Leather Cowl or Death Soul could be better for Death's Temper in particular. Just a huge damage boost for the character. Because I'm assuming she's going to go crit by the way she's building. And the fact that she's Artemis. But then again, she could go ability-based as well. But I would probably want a Bluestone in that case. Anyway, it's already off to a better start.
Surprise,
because nobody's dead. And it seems as if we have returned from the void as my co-caster has come back. But it looks like an engage going on in the mid lane. No, nothing. I'm on the edge here because last game there was already 3 deaths.
Hell, Valve, by about 40 seconds from now, there was like 6.
Are you doing okay? Because, oh, no, I'm saying, are you doing okay? And the Hunbats is not. I'm asking if you're doing okay because you disappeared into the void real quick.
Yeah, you know, Comcast is a spectacular internet provider, and I would highly not recommend them to anyone. It is what it is. So let's see what we've got going on here.
Aggression in the dual lane from Father Xylophone as the Charybdis is falling very low. The Ganesha Shell comes out as a insurance measure. But insurance is only so good. It wasn't life insurance. She's dead. Unfortunately. The Achilles into Cthulhu matchup in the solo lane, though, is something I do want to harp on. Because some people think, oh, this is a really good matchup for Achilles. Achilles can be a bit aggressive. He's got the execute for the gigantic target. And he missed a stun on the totem. We won't talk about it. Don't worry. Nobody saw it except for everybody watching. But the Cthulhu into Achilles mashup is only so good if you don't die before level 5. I am sad for him. The Ganesha dash was really good there. He didn't catch the Charon at all. He actually hugged the wall. That was pretty sick.
Right, I'm caught up. I'm caught up now. And, I mean, I like this draft from Akumas better than I liked the last draft.
Agreed.
I will absolutely give it that. And the fact that we don't have 7 kills on the board by now definitely means that we're right. It definitely is a better draft from Akumas Matatas here. They almost had the kill over there in that duo lane. Close.
Very, very close. but I think there needs to be more attention paid over to this Cthulhu in this game. Right now, the meta is very solo-centric, as much as I hate to say it as a solo laner myself. Ganking solo lane's super easy right now. In Hunbat's current state, it wouldn't be, because he has no mana or ultimate, but ganking solo lane's pretty easy right now, and it looks like there's a bit of a discrepancy between solo laners right now. Akuma's having a hard time holding his own in this lane. Granted, last game, there was a lot of weighing against him. But in this game, he's already died once to a solo kill. Granted, that was because of his own mistake. But I want to see some more pressure put on this Cthulhu. I don't want him to be this tanky, unstoppable force that he was last game. You have the execute. You have the fear no evil. You have the means to kill him. Use them. As, once again, we are in a bit of a stalling state. There is some damage coming out as Bastet makes her way over, jumping in as the wave follows the Ganesha. The Ganesha is probably going to fall here as the boar comes out. Charybdis has to run, using her ultimate to gain the speed she needs to, letting a little laugh out as she does, getting away. As, once again, the Void has eaten my co-caster. As now, the shield buff is going to be secured by Kappa Corp. I need a moment to take a breath here, but it doesn't look like they're going to give me a moment because Fear No Evil comes out looking at the Bastet, and she jumps back towards her team. Oh my god, hurt. All you're giving me is hurt right now because of everything that's going wrong for you right now. The Bastet is just putting on some beautiful running shoes right now and is just getting away from everybody. As Ganesha runs through, blocking Bastet from the wall. Is she finally going to die? She will. The Neathol connecting as the shell comes out, but Hunbats is going to fall for the Artemis. Do you even flex? Putting on such a show as the kills just keep coming. Oh my god. So many things went wrong. And so many more things are going wrong. Their mid laner is walking to your green buff. Oh my goodness. This game started better than the last one, but this is bad. Really bad. As Neath is now pulling the purple and the chest. They're looking to contest here. Will she out-secure her? No, she will not. As Neath now engages the fight over here. Ohm coming out. Ganesha has no mana. The bead's coming through, and she's gonna kill both! Oh! And the waxing moon misses! This is very, very uncool for Akuma Matatas, man. This is just not great. Nothing about this is good for them. I don't know if it's the last game that is just hitting them hard, or if it's just not going well. No, it is just not going well. That's what's happening. It's not going well. As the Neath just walked over to dual lane, took your buffs, and killed your dual lane! Oh, Lord. I need a moment. I need a moment to process all this information that's coming to me. Charybdis is 3 levels down. Nearly 300 XP per minute down! I'm gonna, like, cough up a lung from all the screaming I'm doing. This is very bad. As the Bull Demon has been slain. Akuma Matata is getting something positive going as they kill the Bull Demon. Charybdis sitting safely, tucked to the corner under her tower. As now, we are calm again. Yes, it may not last very long, but we are calm again. As Bastet looks towards this chest camp. Looking in the order side jungle. Putting out some poke on the Ganesha. Not too much, but also a decent amount. As Chunga heals it up. Now, the dynamic between Charybdis and Artemis usually isn't that bad for either side. But when Artemis, or when Charybdis has this happen to her, it looks pretty bad in any matchup. When their jungler gets to walk behind your tower and do whatever they want, I'm sure that's a hard hit to your mental, let alone whatever is happening. This is rough. Very, very rough. As the double stun comes out, the Waxing Moon double in mid. As the Neath looks to run away. Jungler picking up a kill in the left lane. As the Neath scurries away, slowed by everything. The Ganesha pillar. As Cthulhu comes to reinforce, Chunga pancake trousers looking to pick up this kill, but Cthulhu is descending into madness as both are knocked up. The movement speed given to his team. The Neath comes through. Ganesha takes it, but Chunga only going to live so long as it is allowed for her to. But no! The kill is not finished. She lives. The movement she has from her abilities is allowing her. And Achilles is coming in with the double execute, saving his team through this as Hoodbats comes in, cleaning up the rest. No, there's no more. I thought maybe there could be something else, but no, Fear No Evil is down. So there is nothing else. But the turnaround, the Achilles coming through with a big rotation, getting a double kill, is massive. As Bold Demon is picked up. Now, this is good. Akuma Matatas are back in this, especially with Akuma getting that double kill. They are back in this. Dual lane, not going so well. But you don't have to fight over there. You can just clear waves. Charybdis will eventually catch up. If worst comes to worst, you can honestly just switch lanes with Achilles. But, oh no. Okay. I thought she was just going to be straight up dead. Storm Seeker bought by Artemis. I absolutely hate this. But I'm going to be honest, I think Artemis could build a Mystical Mail here, and things could still be going well in that lane. Because of how poorly things have gone for this Charybdis. It's just that unfortunate. As the Chunga dances around with a bit of a lead on the Neath now. About 1.5, maybe even 2 full levels on the Neath. That fight in mid went so well that they've gotten big leads everywhere else. But again, like I was saying before, this Charybdis, eventually, if need be, you can just swap Achilles and Charybdis their lanes. You can just switch them. But an engagement going on in the mid lane as the Neath backflips, losing her beads as Hunbats puts out the damage. The Dharmic Pillars comes out, 3 ultimates used for the death of Cole as Artemis kills someone on the left and Hunbats falls. Hurt, only hurt by that cat. There's so much going on right now. As the boat engages, the cat jumps in and grabbed by the Ganesha, but not tossed. Because the beads were used by the Bastet. The turnaround as Artemis comes through under the tower, as the shell comes out and the Chunga blinks away, grabbing the boat, possibly for a turnaround kill? No, the shell comes out to save him. And the mid tower falls. As the boat looks to engage again, and Hunbats is here, but is silenced out by the boat. Father Xylophone wiggling around as fast as he can. But eventually, he will fall. But I could be completely wrong. As the Hunbats jumps in. No! He won't get the kill as the Neath comes back around. The Chunga is here. Returning back in as Xylophone makes it out with 1 key left. 1 note as the Ganesha dashes away. Holy crap. Can you stop fighting for 1 minute so I could breathe? My complaints aside, solo casting is difficult as the Waxing Moon comes out onto the Neath, but nothing comes of it. As now we have a bit of a low in the action. I say that as Artemis walks back to Charybdis and Charybdis immediately screams and runs away. Bastet engages in the mid lane as the Neath ult comes out with a Hunbat's ult, comes out in response. She almost walked into that trap and that would have been hilarious. But Bastet engaging on the Hunbats as she jumps in onto the elephant after killing the monkey. It's a whole zoo going on in the mid lane as the ferryman comes to clean it up. No, it is not enough. It's not the day that that Ganesha falls, as he looks to back in his Phoenix, cowering as the enemy team looks to kill him there. Now, I just realized there's a bit of a boat theme going on. They got the pirate Neath in the mid with the Charon who's driving the boat. Anyway, I'm yammering. But Charybdis playing a wave here as Artemis comes in with the trap. The beads forced immediately from Charybdis. No beads. I lied. That's part of her 3 now. As she's being... No. I thought the Charon was going to come in for the engage, but the Ganesha stopped it. Chunga farming up a bit more as the shop drops down. Maybe she can get something good there, but she has a mobile shop with that bunny. So maybe it doesn't matter for her. Regardless, the monkey walking up around this corner of the Gold Fury, they know that they're there because of the Ganesha's vision here. But the Ganesha looks like vision only helps you so much if you're going to get engaged on. But the Artemis blinks as Charybdis has to run. Tail between her legs as the entire team looks to engage on her. Everybody but Cthulhu is there. Gold Fury pulled by Kappa Corp. As the Pyromancer is the response from Akuma Matatas. And it looks like objectives are going to be traded. As the Gold Fury goes down, so does the Pyro. And that's a good call by Akumas. Akumas is still 5k down. But they're picking up an objective while an objective is being picked up. Or being taken away from them, rather. An evoke coming out. But it wasn't needed. Akuma falls to the Cthulhu again. Rough. That's rough. Charybdis finally getting a rotation of her buffs without it being contested. Artemis being sneaky. And Charybdis sees it this time. So maybe not so sneaky. But why are you fighting this? You've lost it every single time. Please do not fight it. But your team's here now as the waxing moon goes past my window. The Artemis Bees is forced away as the team chases. Michelle coming out and eventually she will fall, almost killing the Chang'e. Forcing the shell away, but boy, this is rough. And not only for my vocal cords, but just in general. As Bastet sits on the corner, waiting for this Chang'e to come through, as the cat goes into the waltz. And the wave? Oh, I thought that was gonna kill. That would have been hilarious. Anyway, everybody on the blue team seems to be backing. No, never mind. They are not. The hundreds falling low as Chang'e resets. But what I don't want to see is Kappa getting too aggressive. Because if they get too aggressive, they could be turned around and punished. They don't have as much control as they did last time in Game 1. In Game 1 at this point, they could do whatever they wanted. They could go to any of Akuma Matata's house, eat their entire fridge, not just the food in the fridge itself, and just leave. But terrible analogies aside, the team of Akuma Matatas in this game has a lot more potential to turn this around. Speaking of turnaround potential, Bastet falls as the combined force of Akuma Matatas comes around, and so does Father Xylophone. The entire construct of his instrument falls as Cthulhu gets engaged on by Fear No Evil, but he's a bit too tanky to fall into that execute range. Cole engaged on. Akuma Matatas doing exactly what could have happened if Kappa was too over-aggressive. Consequences for your actions. As Fire Giant looks to be pulled, why are you backing? You're backing for the Artemis. Good play. I just can't see everything going on because I'm too busy screaming. The Cthulhu here is looking to engage. They're resetting the fire so they can kill the Cthulhu and then possibly pick it up again? Who knows? They don't. They're not interested. It's fine. They want to fight. They can back off. They can reset. They can possibly look for something. Artemis is looking for something as she walks toward the Ganesha. Level 18 on the Artemis as Chang'e looks to get a turnaround on her as Achilles is engaged on by the wave, by the boar, by all the damage. The Bastet jumping in, killing down Pancake Trousers as the Ganesha dashes in and Charybdis falls to the damage. The pillars come out from Ranger, but is it enough to save him? I don't think it will be, but the Fear No Evil might be. No? Yes, it is. Red team. Kappa Court. Looking for the Fire Giant. Judging by the teleport that just came out of the Cthulhu, they're looking for it. Now, if I'm Akumas, you give this up. This Fire Giant, it's cosmetic. You don't need it. You don't need it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not EFG. You'll be fine. You're only 5k down. Now going to become 6k, but still, you're fine. The rest of this, it's a bit harder for you to sort of quantify. The amount that they could get from this is more dependent on what Akumas is willing to fight for and what they're willing to punish for. Not willing, able to punish for. Because I'm sure they're willing to punish for everything. But are they able to do it is a completely different story. Hunbats is only level 15. 3 levels down on this Bastet right now. That is rough. When Father Xylophone is dashing towards you at the same level as you as a jungler, that feels bad. Bit of silence here as the team comes through, looking to set up for this possible left lane siege. Achilles picking up a bit more farm on the right before he has to come back. Again, the teams look like they're resetting, though. This Fire Giant hasn't given them much of anything. Kappa Corp, that is. Akumas Matatas is still very much in this game. I don't want that to be discounted, as that is an ego blow for sure, as you get flipped through that. Holy. Rough. That is rough, as my dogs would say. The terrible jokes that I'm making are to make up for the fact that I'm inexperienced at solo casting. I am yammering at this point. But we're waiting for something to happen, something interesting, and nothing interesting is currently going on. The teams are looking to pick up a bit of farm. Seems like what it's going to be. And what I said about this Fire Giant being cosmetic seems to be true. But the Hunbats fall. Chang'e looks to follow. Charybdis falls down even before that. Chang'e is trying to make it away, but there's nothing Ganesha can do. Ranger, you gotta run, bro. You gotta run. Take that tusk. Take those tusks, that trunk, go somewhere else. Here is not the place for you. As now, the right side T2 falls. Phoenix is what you are looking for here. Achilles, Akuma, and Ranger Dire. Only one's here as he's forced to ult away. Ganesha falls as he looked to engage on that. As Akuma is falling low as well. Are they going to look to end? They very well could, and it looks like they are. The shell's coming out. Cthulhu coming out. It's kind of looking as if it's falling. Titan falls to half as the war flag drops on the ground. Cthulhu falls low. Fear No Evil comes out as Artemis has to run away. No, Titan's getting back, gone on again as Achilles looks to go for a kill. Charybdis gets 2 with her ultimate, but is it going to be enough? It doesn't look like it as Charybdis Aegis is forced out. And Kappa Court, dominant 2-0 over Kuma Matatas. And despite our technical difficulties, we were able to show you that set. Now, my former co-caster, Tantalus and I, appreciate you joining us on this fun little set here. GG's to both teams. And if I'm Akumas here, I'm looking back at this set and saying, unfortunate. Game 1, we got absolutely rocked. Game 2, we did much better. But there's people who are better than us, and we got to look to improve. This drives me to want to improve. And that's what these comp leagues are all about. And I'm glad they're doing it here at Amaterasu's presence. Regardless, here are the post-game stats if you're interested in that. And not really much more to say. There was a lot of fighting. Do You Even Flex had an absolute dominant performance in both games. And if I have to pick an MVP, despite Cole being close competition, Do You Even Flex put on a show both games. So, but unless there's anything else that needs to be added, I think that's about it. So, appreciate you hanging out with me. At this point, us before, but now just me. Appreciate you hanging out with Tess and I. Tess on production, doing a fantastic job. Other than that, though, hope you have a great night. Peace.